WGAS, the only podcast that does a crossover with Karl from Who Are These Podcasts. We are your hosts, Crippled Jesus and Adam from Houston.
Yeah.
You heard that right. We have everybody's favorite podcast reviewer, Karl.
Hey, what's happening,
Awesome
Adam
to
and
hear.
CJ? Thanks for having me, guys.
It's a pleasure to have you, dude. How are you doing, my man?
Sweet. I'm doing great. I'm getting on an airplane tomorrow morning to fly into Chicago for our live show this weekend. So I'm stoked.
Oh yeah, you think they're gonna call your live show a super spreader event?
I hope so, because we're gonna have both Vic and Casey, both review girls, will be there.
Oh,
So I'm hoping it is a super spreader
Hey,
event.
Don't forget, cerebral palsy is contagious to everybody, so be careful when you come up to me.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll keep Crippled Jesus with a mask on because he can actually breathe into your junk. You know, he's at that level,
Yeah.
at that height.
it's a breakthrough case.
Right. There's no way, there's no COVID shot to protect you against that.
Yeah. So
Well, it's a double-edged sword because I gotta look at nuts all day, but every once in a while a nice pair of tits will come around and it's not so bad.
Sounds like it's worth it.
yeah, definitely. Oh, so let me go ahead and start the show a little bit by saying what happened for my week. So, I set off fireworks in front of an Afghan vet's house over the weekend. This dude,
Nice.
yeah, this dude asked me to help him move, and he had a whole fucking garage full of boxes and shit. And one of these shits happened to be just full of fireworks, and like not shitty fireworks either. And I'm like, oh.
You guys are celebrating the Taliban's victory, or what were you doing?
No, I just happened to find fireworks.
no, okay.
Look, there's some things you can't trust me around, and fireworks is one of them. So I set him off. He shouldn't have let me find them. He should have known better.
Makes sense.
This dude knows me. I came in and talked to him about the Afghan war after all that. And this dude hasn't been given a shit since like '07. Like he was up there to train these people. I was like, they told us to fuck off. So I was just up in Afghanistan for a year working out. Like they didn't give a shit. So why should I? I was like, damn, dude.
Right. Yeah, these guys couldn't do jumping jacks. They couldn't be trained to do anything. This army that we were just going to hand over the reins to, like, okay, here's a tank, here's some jets, you take over the country. That wasn't going to happen. No one thought that was going to happen.
They're probably like, we're just waiting for you to leave so we can take our country back. You'll get bored eventually.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't our first rodeo, you know?
Right.
Oh, man. Although this dude has some...
I've been rejecting suicide bomber applications left and right from the Taliban. They just won't leave me alone. I don't know if it's the chair that makes it an optimal position for me, but they really want me to be a soldier for Allah.
There's help wanted signs everywhere. I mean, everyone's looking for employees right now. So, yeah. You name your price, Crippled Jesus. Don't do that on the cheap.
Yeah, find a price that works for you. Oh,
Right.
This dude that I helped move. So this dude got chewed out by his commanding officers 3 times for using excessive ordnance. Like one time he was in a fucking convoy. There was a dude that had like a tiny little motor on a bicycle, and he just like rode by and sprayed him down with an AK and didn't. I mean, he hit some armored Humvees, and they were like, "What the fuck?" But he just happened to have a line on him, and he's like, "That's a vehicle." He pulls out his AT-4 and goes like, "Poof," and dummy fires the guy. Blows him to fucking shit. And the commander had to kind of let him get a pass. He's like, it was a vehicle. It's technically a vehicle.
Yeah. That's the whole reason of going over there. They don't pay him enough.
Yeah, they
You
don't
gotta
pay
be
him
able
to bring it
shoot at
back.
shit every now and again.
Yeah. Oh, and there was another time he was in a guard tower and got shot at from some buildings. So he shot the building like 60 times with a Mark 19. And another time he got like an RPG went off next to his location. He just followed the contrail and shot a lot of guy. And so this dude has some fucking crazy ass fucking war stories. Did like 3 combat tours, got blown up. Like he got explosions near him to the point where they had to document it for his medical history like 23 times or some shit like that.
Wow.
But
I didn't think there was a lot of action over there. That's surprising, actually.
this dude had a motherfucking death wish, though. So, like, yeah, this dude has some motherfucking stories. There's a reason I'm friends with this guy.
Yeah.
But-
Get him on the show. I'm boring. I just sit in my basement all day.
Shit, maybe. Well, come on.
Yeah.
What did you do in your week, Carl? Come on, man. What you been up to? You got a million projects going on. You got the live show coming up. That's going to be a whole fucking ordeal. It could be a shit show.
No, it's going to be great. Assuming the SJ Army doesn't pull off the Chicago mission.
Oh, I hope
think
they
we'll
do.
be
That'd
okay.
be some funny shit to see.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, Stuttering John, it's time for you to pick on a cripple your own side. Me and you cripple fight.
Yes,
Illinois. Let's do it.
that would be amazing.
buddy.
You should challenge him to a fight because he boxed this guy Cabby. It was a famous thing he did on Howard Stern show. I think that he should do it again against crippled Jesus. That's awesome. Let's do it.
I agree.
Let's make it happen.
And you know what? I'll make it. You know what? I'll make it fair. I'll put one hand behind.
We're neck and neck with
still
Stuttering John's Patreon. We're right
Are
there.
you?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
True. We're about $30 away. I think the last time he made it public, he was at 140, and we're about 110 right now. So we are cruising up on you, Stuttering John.
And you guys probably have fewer haters who are supporting the show and hate listening. So you got that going for you too.
It seems to be the case anyway.
You're rang as the top crippled retard on Patreon, and now coming to an end. I'm coming for you, buddy.
So the other thing I've been up to this week is last night, there's this guy named Patrick Michael. He's the most prolific podcaster in the history of podcasting. He's hosted.
I'll know I made it
over
whenever
100.
Patrick Michaels talks shit about me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's hosted probably over 100 different podcasts, each one worse than the next. And he also has dabbled in stand-up comedy. So there's a video of him doing stand-up at some bizarre, I don't even think it was an open mic. I think it was just like a talent show or something. And he gets up and he reads off these cue cards and he doesn't get a single laugh. And he put it up on YouTube for some reason so we could see it. So I gave that script to my co-host of the Creep Off, Vinny Paulino, and he went up last night and read the jokes at an open mic. It was his consequence from the Creep Off. And I videotaped the whole thing. I put out a couple teaser videos of it so far. We did 5 minutes of actually reading word for word Patrick Michael stand-up comedy. So that was a lot of fun last night.
What?
Yeah. It's
Fantastic. I'm sure he has hard-hitting observational jokes about Arby's mozzarella sticks.
I've heard that comedy is all in the delivery. Is that true? Is it possible to deliver a Patrick Michael set and actually have it land? Is it possible?
It's not all in the delivery. The delivery is very important, but it's not all in the delivery. I will say Vinny Paulino got more laughs than Patrick Michael ever has. And there were people sitting around me, and most people there know Vinny, and they're just like, what is going on right now? People were going up afterwards, like, was that some kind of like art piece you were doing? Like, what was that? They're very confused.
It was technically.
Well, it was like losing a bet is what it was.
Well, yeah.
More accurately.
Oh my God.
Oh, I know a thing or two about losing a bet, Carl. I don't think we should get into my week.
Are you about to wheel
let's
yourself
get
off
into
of a
the
dam
show, buddy.
this week? Has it truly been getting to you? Have the nuts truly broken you this time?
Well, I'm down about $3.5 grand, but I still have money for Chicago.
Another 500 crippled G's? I thought you weren't going to bet anymore this month.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah, no, you know, cards call for me.
you do
Carl.
know, Carl. Do you know? I bet you do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like when I'm like, I'm going to stop drinking for the rest of the week. All right, I drank every other night. Oh, well, whoops. What are you going to do? It happens. I get it.
Oh man.
Let's get into the
All
show.
right, all right.
Adam, you want to
Sure.
start it off?
Sure. I'll lead in. Okay. So everyone's talked about this thing, and just what's happening is so ridiculous. Nirvana, right? Everyone's seen their iconic album that has the baby floating in the water. Well, guess what? This motherfucker is suing the band for child pornography and emotional distress. How does that make you feel, Carl?
It's 30 years too late for that shit, dude. That ship has sailed. What are you talking about?
Look, he said it caused him emotional distress.
I think it's obvious that Kurt Cobain is a pedophile, and it's too bad we can't put him in a wood chipper. I seem to beat us to it.
Oh, man. He put his brain pan practically in a wood chipper, made some shotgun pasta, so he beat you
I
to
will
the punch.
say, by today's standards, because of the internet and everyone's so hypersensitive about CP, there's no way that album would come out with that album cover these days. But at the time, because
Dick Masterson would defend it, just like he defended Cuties.
I'm defending it right now. I'm defending it right now. You have to understand, the Nirvana album cover, nobody thought of as pornography. Nobody. I bought that album. Everyone I knew had that album. I learned how to play every song on it. Not a single person was like, oh, this baby penis might turn someone on. That's not how this fucking works. Baby penises don't turn people on. We didn't think that way back then. Now it's all we think about. Oh, there's some pervert who's jerking off to Nirvana. I don't know why we think that way anymore.
But are you telling me there wasn't some creep jerking off to Nirvana?
Who was?
Are you telling me that there wasn't some creep that was jerking off to the cover of that album? Because
search
your soul, you know it to be true, Karl.
Why should that ruin my life, though? Why should that change? See, this is a slippery slope, and I'm not here to defend CP. I'm not here to defend CP, but when there's no victims, then what the fuck are we regulating here? Because now we're saying, like, well, this person was offended by this image, and you know what? I'm offended by the Smashing Pumpkins, so they should also be banned. Like, what? Wait, what? Most people enjoy it.
This baby, now a grown man, is saying that he's a victim after he has said he loved it forever.
Oh, see, that's annoying.
It sounds kind of like a familiar story. I'm just saying, it was great way it happened, but then afterwards, I kind of thought about it. And now I'm feeling a little victimized, a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say the victim culture. It's like, why wouldn't you act like you're a victim? It can only help you.
Well, look, he's saying that he couldn't consent as a baby to be on this cover. Okay,
sure.
Consent, man.
Oh, you can't consent as a baby? Try telling Jeffrey Epstein that. He's not going to believe it.
Wait a second. Jeffrey Epstein wasn't fucking babies. Wait a second. Are you just like, oh, child pornography, Jeffrey Epstein, just jump to that right away?
It's a slippery slope, dude.
Well, he is kind of the Elvis Presley of pedophiles.
I thought that Bill Cosby was the Elvis Presley of pedophiles. No, a rapist. He's a rapist. Not
Jeffrey Epstein was...
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, Adam. He's completely innocent, according to the courts. So
first off, ain't nobody innocent. He's just not in prison right now.
No, I'm pretty sure Pennsylvania declared that rape is not legal when they released Bill Cosby from prison. I think that was the statement they were trying to make.
Yeah, they added a memo. They're like, look, we don't condone doing this, but we got to.
Yeah. We're decriminalizing mushrooms and rape in this state. So if you want to move to Pennsylvania.
All right. So let me.
Well, I mean, maybe they really want that next Fat Albert movie, Karl.
Yeah. Or Ghost Dad 2. I mean, I don't know.
So, hey,
makes
CJ,
sense to me.
This fucking thing that I brought in, this reeks of fucking asshole lawyers, right? This is like the fucking lawsuit all over again.
Yeah. It reminds me a lot of when I brought Woody Allen into the show. You had all these actresses who worked for him for years and talked about how great it was. And then now all of a sudden it's not popular to like Woody Allen anymore. So now he's a monster and he raped you and all this other stuff.
Oh, man. Well,
so Adam,
yes,
my question to you is, so this person's suing, the record label, I guess?
Kurt Cobain's estate.
Kurt Cobain's estate. I don't even know if he has anything to do with the album cover. I don't know that he does. Who knows? But my question is, who gives a shit?
Yeah. Well,
is that an appropriate question?
Well, okay. So here's something I know about Nirvana. Are there people that care about this? I'm sure that there are, because one of my hot takes that has gotten me in trouble in the past is that Nirvana is an overrated band. I think they're a good band. I do think they're overrated, man. People suck Nirvana's dick so fucking hard like it's a way of life when it's just a fucking band. So
overrated is the perfect word for Nirvana. I would agree with that in every way.
So the people that overrate Nirvana probably care about this. And there's going to be some obnoxious types in there. You know the type that got like a short dyed blonde haircut that want to talk to the manager and shit like that. They probably might have bought into some dumb childhood consent nonsense or some crap like that and been like, oh yeah. And the funny thing is, this does reek of bullshit lawyers. I bet you if this dude was just like, hey man, I'm on some hard times. I was on the album. You mind cutting me like 10 grand or something like that on the GP, bro? And I bet you they would have.
Dude, if you want to make money from Nirvana, all you have to do is marry Frances Bean. Did you see what her ex-husband wants so much money from her. He already got the iconic guitar that he played at the acoustic set, the unplugged set, and sold it for like $3 million.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Just marry that daughter.
Damn.
Don't act like you're offended by an album
Well,
cover.
you gave me an idea, Carl. I'm going to auction off that shotgun. Make millions.
Oh. Damn. Oh, that's fucked. But all right, really, man, that's all I got to say about fucking Nirvana and all that fun shit. So let's see. Who wants to go next? Who else has something they want to talk about?
I mean, I'll go unless Carl
Go for it,
wanted to
CJ.
Get to it first.
Go for it. I'll wrap it up.
So, my story is not from a news outlet, but it's from the governor himself. Governor Abbott of your home state, Adam, released a statement last week about how he got COVID. And I don't give a shit because all governors should get terrible diseases. And I actually wish that most government officials had diseases that were more deadly than COVID because it seems COVID doesn't kill anybody. But
right.
A lot of people give a shit. And particularly I'm seeing people, Texas should lock down again because the governor got COVID and it's all the Trump supporters. It's the fault of the Trump supporters. We need to wear masks. We need the double vaccine. We need triple, quadruple vaccines. And, and people are messing with Texas right now, Adam. How do you feel about that?
They try. First off, anyone that says we need to lock down again, we never locked down in the first place. I don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. There was like a couple of businesses that got a little scared into shutting down. But I'll tell you what, it didn't change my life at all. Like, I didn't change at all. Literally none. Other than I had an easier commute to work in the morning. And there was...
Adam?
Yeah.
Can I just say to you, being a person who lives in New York State, being someone who lives in New York State whose life was totally fucking ruined by the lockdown.
Well, you say that, but at the same time, everyone's all fucking acting all weird, and I'm staying working. I'm dying for the Dow. I work in a machine shop making oil and gas parts. It's not like pipelines got to stop getting made. And on top of that, there was some weird fucking times that I had to work in COVID because when everything fucking froze, all the pipelines fucking broke. And guess who makes those things and has to fix them? That's me. So, like, I was fucking busting my ass during that fucking time, man. It was like, so whenever people talk about all these lockdowns, I'm so cynical about it, man. I was dying for the Dow. I've been out there this whole fucking time. So why the hell do I care? And on top of that, whenever people are all concerned about these vaccines, I get annoyed too, because just people bringing it up, I'm like, my medical history is my own shit. How about you mind your own fucking business? Like, it became a political issue, so it just annoyed me as soon as fucking people even brought it up in casual conversation.
I do want to say to
I'd
cripple Jesus.
I tell people you don't have the time to read my medical history. It would take too long. We'd be here for 4 days.
It's an encyclopedia for cripple Jesus. But I got to tell you, though, CJ, I like your idea that government officials would get such a deadly disease. I used to say term limits, but that's obviously not going to fly. No one's voting for term limits. So terminal disease, that's a pretty good second place. I will take that.
I mean, we got rid of the Cuomo virus. There's still a couple more that we need to get rid of.
This is true.
Governor Potato Head of my state, Michigan, Mrs. Potato Head.
Oh.
I'm not a huge fan of her. I think
CJ, your favorite tits in Congress are in trouble.
Sarah Palin?
No, Boebert.
Laura Bobbitt?
Boebert, yeah. So,
what did she do?
yeah, she didn't report that her husband was a lobbyist when they were reporting where they get their money from. And so there's some autistic people screeching about that shit. But I think her tits are good enough. She might be able to make it.
Absolutely. And if she needs a new husband, I'm her guy. You know, once you go cripple, you never go back.
Doesn't rhyme. You gotta come up with a better saying than that.
But man, this Abbott dude, here's one thing that's nice, kind of, about Texas is that people are pretty cynical about politicians in general down here. Like, everyone just kind of accepts that everyone's fucking retarded if they're in government. Like, except for, well, there's a handful of simps out there and they keep a bunch of dumbasses elected. Actually, Texas politics are incredibly retarded. Like, you know.
I'm kind of retarded.
So, so in general, when we talk about Texas politicians, I'm like, who gives a fuck? Nobody cares.
Sorry.
I saw that. What I saw was the figurehead were using this as a point for why lockdown should happen throughout the country and why everything should be shut down. And you can't go to bars, you can't have any fun. You know what? I call those people ableist because they're denying me of my precious strippers. So if you are pro-lockdown, you hate the handicap. Let's get that on record right now.
Yeah, and they're doubly retarded because they're barking up the wrong tree. Like, one thing about Texas, we kind of just do our own thing, and we're always going to do our own thing. That's what Texas has always done. So if they don't want to lock down, they're not going to. And I mean, it's to the point where, like, there was a mandate that you couldn't have a mask mandate in schools. And so other schools had to try to find a workaround by enforcing a fucked up dress code. That was their workaround.
Oh,
like,
no.
It gets fucking retarded out here, man.
Yeah, I've seen idiots on social media who say, well, you know, there's signs that say no shirt, no shoes, no service. So what's the difference? Just put on a mask. Like, all right. Let's look through all of human history. Have we ever worn a mask as part of our wardrobe? Has it ever been part of like what you put on in the morning before you go out and greet society? No, this is not natural. This is not normal.
If you're going to rob someone, maybe.
Yeah, right. The people who wear masks are not the good guys.
I'm surprised these masks that people weren't pushing back against these mask mandates. Because when I first heard about this, I'm like, they just let you roam around masked up. You could just rob someone at any given moment and just get away with it. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
that would get old pretty quick to people.
You don't remember the riots from last summer? That happened a lot.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there's levels to this shit. I don't know. That's sort of where my crime in mind went because you know, I sometimes still think along those lines every now and then. Even though
sometimes,
I'm not the game.
Sure.
Where,
sure,
well,
sometimes.
I was just jealous I wasn't at the peaceful protest in Detroit. I heard there were some
I heard that it was mostly
cool
peaceful. Yeah,
flat
mostly
screen
peaceful.
TVs down there. But I want the flat screen TV that I don't know what the cause is. I'm just there to root, allegedly.
Yeah, listen, I need Air Jordans because George Floyd, man. That's why I need them.
But
and you know the good thing I could root a Foot Locker, Karl, because I never walk on the shoes, so they're just pristine forever.
Yeah,
I'll
dude.
have them for 4 years, and they'll look brand new. Right
You could sell your old shoes on eBay and get face value for them. A lot of perks to being crippled. A lot of perks.
It happens. Well, yeah, you take it when you can get it. So you got anything else to say about Greg Abbott getting COVID, man? Is there another take on it? Are you just beefing with another crippled guy? Because you like doing that from time to time.
Not that I know of. I mean, I don't have any problem with any other cripple except Stuttering John, but I'm pretty sure he knows that already.
Well,
But yeah, as far as I can see, only Rachel Maddow and a couple Karens on Twitter give a shit about this. So it's not really that big of a story. I just liked how people were using it to enforce tyranny, and they thought that would work. I think
they'll use anything to enforce tyranny. And also, I want to point out that, because I used to watch our great Governor Cuomo every day, mid-afternoons, when he was on explaining, how he was going to control my life the next week. And one of the things that he said early on was that we can't stop this virus. 80% of New Yorkers will get COVID. He said that. 80% of New Yorkers will get COVID. And now if you get COVID, it's like, holy shit, you got COVID? This is insane. It's like, no, we were all going to get it. That's what we were talking about originally. Everyone's going to get it. It's not a big deal.
Didn't everyone get it because Cuomo felt him up because he's Italian?
Everyone got it because...
I heard that's just what they do.
Everyone got it because Cuomo said that they should put all the COVID in the nursing homes. He's like, we got so much COVID in this state. Can we just put it in the nursing homes where people don't like to go to? Because no one wants to go to those places anyway. We can just keep it there. We'll be fine.
What do you think the clock is on that before he goes to prison?
I had to live in one for a couple months, Karl. It wasn't a pleasant sight.
You lived in a nursing home?
Yeah, for a while. I don't know why. I thought it would be a good idea. I finally got fed up with just old ladies wandering into my room thinking that it was theirs. And so I had to get out of there, man.
So how long do you have to go down on one of these blue hairs before they're wet enough to stick it in?
Oh.
I would say give or take about 15
Okay,
minutes,
yeah, that's too long.
On,
That's annoying. That's an annoying amount of time.
My joints can be real stiff in the morning, Karl, so that can complicate things.
God, it sounds like a clusterfuck, if you ask me.
Jesus.
But yeah, that's all I got. We getting into our mid-segment?
Oh yeah.
Today?
We gotta get into our favorite segment here, To Catch a Redditor. So let's play one about Greg Abbott.
From r/politics, Return of the Snack 420 writes, considering he's been vaccinated, hopefully he'll use this as an opportunity to extol the positives of vaccines and how they most likely saved his life, and that we all need to be careful and work together to beat this thing. He's gonna burn a mask and blame immigrants for COVID, isn't he?
Oh, God.
You looked like you were on board there for a second, Karl.
No, I knew where that was going. That's why it was so fucking predictable. Like, every single one of these governors, and even our previous president, Trump, is like, get vaccinated. We're all telling you to get vaccinated. And they're like, yeah, these fucking Republicans tell you not to get vaccinated. That's not true. They all tell you to get vaccinated.
That's exactly
They're all
what
in the pockets of Big Pharma. Everyone's in the pockets of Big Pharma. All the fucking networks, all the politicians. If anyone's saying don't get vaccinated, then they're not getting any money. What are you, fucking stupid?
He told everyone to get like the third booster shot and that they had like great treatments out there that you should rely on that. Like right. he didn't do any of that. Told everyone to get vaccinated.
Right. And then it's like, oh, I bet he's going to blame it on immigrants. Why? Why do you think that? Do you watch MSNBC all day?
Well,
do you listen to NPR? Why do you think that?
I mean, I happen to know this dude. He does blame Mexicans for a lot of things, but he does give them credit about the immaculate lawns too. So we just kind of take it where we get it, man.
You live in Houston. You know they're a problem.
Well, you know I'm a minority now. It was a real trouble to figure out how to drag myself behind my own truck. Well, anyway,
Adam, I think it's really cool that you're living next to Speedy Gonzalez. I'm kind of jealous.
I mean, yeah, I work with a lot of Hispanic people, man, and I mean, they do get the fucking job done. I'll give them that. All right, well, here's one about the Nirvana baby. Here
from r/NotTheOnion, Squidward Woodward writes, there could be some merit to the claim that the photographer never asked the parents for permission to use the photograph, but the child porn angle is going to sink this particular ship. Plebtard writes, the dude literally has Nevermind tattooed on his chest, and he's recreated that album cover multiple times as an adult, but suddenly now he decided that he was exploited? Yeah, okay, buddy.
Yeah, I don't think he should.
Well, that's Reddit. Reddit, that's called being poor. This guy ran out of money, so he's committing frivolous lawsuits to try to squeeze money.
Yeah, it's called hitting rock bottom. It's where you try to scrounge up every last little dollar you can and squeeze every last drop of blood out of every stone you could think of, because heaven forbid you get a job.
He shouldn't have been proud to be on that cover. He shouldn't have gotten that tattoo. I would have made fun of him for that. And then he also shouldn't be asking for money now, like he was exploited. So I don't like any of these angles. He should have just like maybe told some friends at a party once, hey, by the way, that's me. I know, isn't that crazy? Yeah. That's about as far as that should have gone.
Should have started a GoFundMe and said that he was a victim of sexual trafficking or something. And bam, there's a bunch of meat bucks.
That would be a great line to just say to a chick at a party to try to get into her pants. Hey, you know this Nirvana cover? That's me right there.
You know what? You're right. I guarantee you that has gotten him laid at a party with some drunk chick. Like, no, there's no 100%. Fucking doubt about that.
I mean, if the chick's fucking 42 years old and remembers fucking CD covers, maybe.
Well, I mean, he's old as shit too, so whatever. Hold on. All right, so here's the next To Catch a Redditor we got. This is about the Johnson & Johnson COVID.
Oh, I didn't even go through my story yet.
I know roughly what it's about. So this is what Reddit had to say about it.
Yeah, but the people
from r/news. Keyerfade writes, "Rapid and robust sounds like this shit gonna wipe you the fuck out for 48 hours. That being said, 48 hours to not die of COVID ain't too bad."
Well, I don't know. I think Johnson & Johnson's feeling a little bit left out in the vaccine race. They feel a little dumb-tarded, so they had to do something.
Yeah, do you want me to get into my...
Adam, I've been actively trying to die of COVID. I'm already immune compromised. I don't wear a mask. I'm going everywhere. I'm banging strippers. I'm doing everything they're telling me not to do, and I don't have this disease yet.
Wow, that is anecdotal, cripple Jesus. I would say that if everyone lived your lifestyle, it wouldn't work out as well for everyone.
Well, try the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. All the stem cells are going to have you fucking walking again or something. Well, let's get out of To Catch a Redditor and get into Karl's topic. Karl, man, what you got for us, Brody?
Yeah, so I this is the story that I brought. The headline from the Wall Street Journal is, J&J says COVID-19 booster prompts strong immune response. Booster recipients showed 9-fold increase in antibody levels compared with 1 month after first dose, researchers find. And Adam, to your point, as soon as I saw this pop up on my phone, I was like, oh, the marketing department's like, guys, what are we doing? First off, we said you only need 1 dose. That was stupid. We're these other companies are making way more money than us. And secondly, they're all talking about boosters. Why aren't we talking about a booster? Let's get on this. So J&J said it will submit data from 2 studies to a preprint server, meaning that the data has not been peer-reviewed or published in a scientific journal. Since when are we taking information from the company that sells the thing they're talking about and treating it as gospel? You know, Apple just put out a press release that says the new iPhone's way better than a Samsung Galaxy. Well, yeah, of course they said that. They sell iPhones. Why are we trusting this?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm often really skeptical of stories like this in general, because as soon as you get any type of medical anything involved, it's like you stacked an extra 3 layers of bullshit on top of it. You know, it gets to the point where to actually figure out what the fuck is actually going on requires a whole lot of time, and it's just not even fucking worth to try to even figure it out. It's a press
release that the media treats as science. And
they love doing this too. It's one of their favorite fucking things.
This is what the media is. They read press releases. So this is what gives it away to me. J&J also said a booster is needed after 8 months based on interim data. A booster is needed after 8 months. So they just approved an 8-month booster for the Pfizer and Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson's like, hey, guess what? We also need it at 8 months. Can you believe it? What a coincidence. 8 months is the time that you need to get another shot from us. And guess who gives a shit about this, guys? Can you guess? CJ?
The media.
I do. I got the J&J shot. I don't want to get a fucking another one. I thought it was one and done. That was promised one and done.
Just get one and then say fuck it. So you get it. It's not going to kill you at this point. I mean, okay, what level of security are you willing to find acceptable, man? Like, when are you finally tired of it where you're like, fuck it, I'm going to let it ride?
Oh, I'm there. I'm there right now.
I've been there for a long time. I'm the kind of weirdo that gets in like random fucking gunfights and shit like that. I didn't care about this shit from the beginning. And you know what? I do get annoyed after a long enough time period. And I want this shit over. I am tired of people fucking talking about it and being concerned about it more than anything. If people just chilled the fuck out and let it go, I wouldn't care.
Yeah. No shit. I know. No,
but the people that are getting wound back up, that is pissing me off that I'm seeing.
Me too. Adam, the only reason why, listen, I don't give a shit either. The only reason why I got the J&J shot was because the NFL announced in order to go to a Buffalo Bills game, you had to have proof of vaccination. And I'm going to the fucking home opener. I'm going to that goddamn home opener, motherfucker. So I'm like, fine, give me the fucking J&J.
You're part of the problem, Carl. You're a part of the problem that you let these people do this shit. They're holding something you want ransom. Let them hold it, motherfucker. They're invading your privacy.
So I can no longer go out to a restaurant or a bar or have my band play out live or do a live show in Lombard, Illinois, or go to a Bills game. You're saying that I should not be able to live any part of my life because that's how I'm going to win. I'm going to beat the system with that.
Do something else. If you can't
do
find
something else.
all
the things I find joy in, I can't do anymore.
Go experiment something with a little bit new. Go to the taco truck where they got a little bit of a health code rating, but they make a badass quesadilla. Try that place out, man.
This is spoken like a guy who didn't have his fucking life ruined by the COVID lockdowns. So you don't understand this at all. You have no idea.
Yeah. I'm really fucking biased because that's how Texas hangs.
I'm going to give you some advice, Karl.
Yeah.
Because I know you're worried about going to your Bill game and just living your life. All of the lockdown laws will be negated if you just wheel around in a wheelchair. I got a couple in my trunk. I can give them to you when I go to Lombardi. Nobody's gonna yell at you if you're in a. I've never been yelled at for wearing a mask, other than my mom and my grandma occasionally. No stranger.
You're right.
Yell at the kid in the wheelchair.
Do it.
CJ,
wait. Yeah, it's like an inward pass if you're with another cripple.
Yes. With my teeth, being in a wheelchair, I was gonna be like, all right, this guy has other issues. Let's not bust his balls about COVID.
Well, yeah, with your clubbed feet, you already look like you have polio, so
exactly.
You're good,
damn.
Can I read a quote from a J&J spokeshole in this article?
All right, what's falling out the mouth hole?
All right, so this is a tough balancing act now that J&J, because remember, J&J is the shot that was taken off the market for a little bit because people were dying from blood clots. So they're already kind of like, hey, by the way, this is really safe and it's great. So he says, the single dose vaccine is still highly protective, and we know that. That is not diminished. But now we also know that a second dose given at 6 months boosts immune response substantially. So he's like, by the way, guys, the original shot that we told everyone they had to get, it's fucking awesome. It's amazing. Like, we weren't lying about that. But you know what's even more awesome is more of the shot that we told you had to get, because more is always better. More antibodies is always better. I always thought that, like, if you had antibodies, you're good.
I like how they don't tell you how much less likely you are to die from taking it. They tell you how much more your immune response has been boosted. They're giving you no information that's relevant to anybody.
Correct. Yes. And they put in these data points where they're like, early studies show that the vaccine holds up well against the Delta variant. How are you studying that? There's no way to test for a Delta variant. People just like read this shit. They just go, okay. The PCR test doesn't tell you what fucking variant you have. Like, 92% of cases right now are Delta. How do you know that? That's made up horse shit.
Well.
You guys, have you heard of the new COVID drop? It's COVID-24, the Kobe variant. If you get it, you die in a helicopter crash.
Oh no, I don't want that. That sounds terrible.
You better get your vaccine for the COVID variant.
So apparently, Johnson & Johnson, and this is another spokeshole here, We are looking forward to discussing with public health officials a potential strategy for Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine, boosting 8 months or longer after the primary single-dose vaccination. Oh, you're looking forward to the CDC mandating that people have to use your product? Yeah, that would be a fun conversation to have. I'm sure every company would love for the government to come out and say, by the way, you have to purchase this product from this company or else you can't live your life.
This is another thing that's annoying about this shit is because it's starting to get into liability and feeling like insurance shit. And I'm like, man, I don't want to have crap be like this, because they had an emergency mandate where there was a lot of lawsuits that would get suspended, but it's getting to the point where there's approval now, and now people are worried that now they could be liable for everything that how everything is transpiring. And like, it's America. There's going to be epic lawsuits. There always are epic lawsuits, but they're trying to figure out how to minimize all this shit too.
Well,
and
the funniest thing too, Adam, I'm sure you'll understand what I'm talking about here, is they put in these data points and they say in this specific article, it says that the J&J vaccine's efficacy is up to 96% against death. Now, I don't know if you know this, but when you get COVID, you have a 99.6% chance of surviving. And they're like, yeah, but if you have this vaccine, there's a 96% chance you won't die. Well, I would hope so, because without it, I have a 99.6%. So unless I'm retarded.
That it's 0.9, that, you know, it's 96% less of the 0.03 that they're talking about.
Yeah, at this point, it's like, yeah, right. No one dies from this. I know no one dies from this anymore. Can we
so
move
long
on?
as your hospitals aren't overwhelmed, then who fucking cares? We're going to have COVID season just like we're going to have everything else now. Like, get used to that.
Correct. We got to live with it.
Yeah, all right, Karl, what do you think is the over and under of this? When are people finally going to be tired of this, to the point where it's no longer headline news and people have finally chilled the fuck out and it's just like the flu?
Adam, I have the answer for you. The answer is never, because when are people going to get tired of climate change? They've been wrong on every prediction. Every single prediction has been wrong, and they just keep like, well, yeah, but in 2030, well, yeah, but in 2050, well, yeah, but in the year 2100, you're like, okay, guys, you've been wrong every time. I'm done with this shit. It's stupid.
Oh yeah, well, they do have an alarmist position. The climate change one is a funny argument, because this is one that I have been an asshole at looking into, and it's a great thing to bring into this, because people will find any way to talk about it. We talked about it because this chick tried to tie shrinking penis size and testosterone serum levels to climate change.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, that was a hell of a fucking leap. But this chick managed to find out a way to do it, linking it to fucking plastic, and then like if you're exposed to the shit in utero, it makes your dick shrink. And I'm like, oh my God. Really? This bitch is gonna write a lifestyle climate change book about this shit? But you know, the politicized issues are always fucking weird to look into, because it is kind of hard to divine fact from fiction. It's like almost like consuming any news that's something that's that politicized. It's like there's 2 or 3 extra steps to even figure out if a source is even worth looking at, or if you should care. And I've given up on caring about the COVID shit fucking a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll give you everyone a helpful hint to figure out if what you're reading is important or if it's bullshit. When the science is determined by computer models, it's wrong. Computer models have never been right, ever. There's too many variables. They can't plug them all in. They don't know. They thought that 2 million people were going to die from COVID in the United States in the first year. They were way off on that. They thought climate change. They thought that we were going to have fucking snow in England by this time. They would never see snow again. They're off on every fucking metric. There's the sea level rise. They're off on everything. And the idea that
the sea level's rising, Karl. It's raising 1/8 of an inch every year. You should be heckin' concerned about that right now.
Yeah, the idea that the climate's going to go up 2 degrees over the next 20 years. The Earth's been hotter than that in its history. These are the people who are talking about science. The Earth has been hotter than that. We will survive. It's fine.
Yeah, humans are anything but adaptable. Even if it is a serious problem, we'll figure it out one way.
It's funny that we talk about like going to Mars and then in the same breath say, yeah, but we're all going to be extinct if it goes up 2 degrees. Like, wait, what? What do you mean?
Well, but Karl, respected scientist Al Gore said that Miami was going to be underwater in 2022. Correct. You don't believe him?
Well, they do have condos just randomly disappearing into the ground where they might have had Epstein's laptop. Or no, it wasn't Epstein. Who the fuck was it? McAfee. That's right. It was supposed to be McAfee's laptop in there. Oh.
So anyway, I'm really super fucking annoyed because I got the J&J shot because I was told I was one and done. And now that this fucking, by the way, the word booster is a marketing term, just like the term green energy booster shot. These are marketing terms. It's just the same fucking thing. They didn't change the formula. Oh, this is actually enhances the first thing we gave you because we put this fucking thing in it. No, it's the exact same thing again. They're like, yeah, but more of this thing is always better. So this is never going to end. We'll be doing booster shots. Right now it's 8 months, and it'll be 6 months, and it'll be 3 months. Then it'll be like every day, just go and get your fucking booster shot. What's the problem?
They just want to rope you into a yearly booster cycle. It's just like the flu shot. They're like, come get your flu and COVID shot.
Yeah, and the flu shot's never accurate. They always get it wrong. Like, oh shit, we got it wrong again. Whoops.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway.
Well, I got vaccinated, Karl, and it put me in the wheelchair, so I'm definitely not getting a booster shot anytime soon.
Yeah. What did you get vaccinated for that put you in a wheelchair?
Oh, COVID. I don't want to get it. According to my college, as far as my college knows, I'm definitely vaccinated, Karl.
Oh, damn. Well, you'll see. If we don't have anything more about COVID, we need to get into voicemails. But first, let's plug what's worth plugging. So, Karl, go ahead and tell us all about your stuff and things, man.
Sure. Real quick, whoarethese.com is where you can get the links to all of our stuff, including our Patreon and their merchandise. But check out Who Are These Podcasts if you haven't already. We do a weekly roast-style review of podcasts, and we goof on people's podcasts by pulling clips and analyzing why it sucks and how it sucks. And then I also co-host a show called The Creep Off, and The Creep Off is a true crime show for people who hate true crime shows. Myself and stand-up comedian Vinny Paulino, we pick a creep every week based on a certain category. So this past week we did creepiest person from China, and we argue our cases, people vote, and then someone wins every week, and then after a number of wins, someone has to spin the wheel of consequences. So it's an interactive, fun show where we talk about gruesome, horrific things and laugh out loud.
Sweet.
Your Patreon, by the way, your Patreon shows with Drew and Mike, very underrated.
Oh, thank you.
I want to plug that too.
Thank you for saying that.
The other day, yeah, me and my dad, we actually would listen to Drew and Mike. You know, when I was growing up.
Yeah, Drew and Mike, huge show out of Detroit.
I got my dad into Who Are These Podcasts, so you got another listener, Kyle.
Well, he's going to be at the show, right?
God, he will be at the show. Retarded God will be at the show.
Can't wait to meet him.
And we, anybody want to meet up for drinks or whatever, hang out after the show, just DM me on Twitter at CrippleJesus. I will be there. I'll take pictures. We'll have a good time. It'll be awesome. I got a front row seat so that nobody's blocking my view. I don't have to stand up to see. It's all
smart.
Good. Yeah. Can't wait, Karl. I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait to see Cripple Jesus sitting at a high top trying to figure out where his beer is as he's reaching his arm up. It's got to be up here somewhere.
Yeah, it kills me that I can't make it, man. I'll be off parole one of these days, dude.
It sounds like Casey is going to be the beer maid for me, Karl.
Oh, nice.
Like.
Oh.
You could do worse.
Jealous. Fuck. Damn it, man. Okay. Well, also, check us out on our stuff at patreon.com/WGA shitshow, where you can get all the extra little bits and bobs, catch the video feed. We do bonus episodes. We did one with Catfish, where he's our Christorian. We talked about Chris Chan, and he beat a fucking aggravated robbery charge. So fucking shout out to that dude. The dude is such a Chad, he wouldn't even take me up on letting me buy him drugs. What the fuck? Anyways, also patreon.com/Rich Dickman for our audio editor, The Rich Dickman Show, also a great show. But if you want to get in contact with us, be sure to give us a call on our voicemail. So let's play the first voicemail of the week.
Hey, it's East Tennessee again. I just gotta say, that fucking To Catch a Redditor this week just completely broke me. Where to fucking start, man? Okay, let's start with the fucking thing about horses in the Olympics. All right, the real fucking take you should have on that is that who gives a shit about horses in the Olympics, because animals don't have rights. You know these same motherfuckers are the ones telling us, you gotta get the vaccine, wear the mask, and trust science. Well, motherfucker, modern medical science don't fucking work without animal testing. You want to tell me you want to do all your nasty testing that could result in death on people? Okay, Sieg Heil. I mean, fucking A, people, come on, use your damn brain. And, that one fucking cup from Tennessee saying, only 40% of our population is vaccinated. Pull your fucking head out of your ass and stop being a sheep, because here's the thing. In January 2021, over 10% of the population of the state of Tennessee had COVID naturally. So factor in the natural fucking immunity with that too, you dipshit. Also, here's a trick Jeopardy question for you, because the same motherfucker's also telling you, healthy at any size. Fucking no fat shaming, all this stupid shit. No. Here's how it works. This mostly preventable disease, here's the trick Jeopardy question for you. This mostly preventable disease killed 600,000 Americans in the last 12 months. If you said, what is COVID, you'd be right. But if you said, what is heart disease, you'd also be fucking right. So, riddle me this, Batman. Why the fuck did we shut down the entire fucking world to stop one of these damn things, but not the other? The only thing I can think of is that COVID is fucking novel or some shit like that. We just never seen it before, so of course we gotta do something. But anyways,
judging from that voicemail, if COVID had taught us anything, it's that fat chicks are the problem.
Yeah. Well, also they wanted to lock everything down because they weren't able to sell COVID to you, Although the dude's take on it a little bit spicy there,
Are you for Hitler or against Hitler?
I gotta say, that was a great voicemail. And starting off on the horses in the Olympics thing, horses might want to be there more than Simone Biles. We don't know. So the fact that people are getting upset that horses are there, they might love it.
I think they want to be there more. They competed.
Right. Yeah. They got out there and went after it. Exactly. But I love that guy's take on heart disease. In fact, not only did we not concentrate on heart disease, we made it worse because people weren't getting procedures they needed. And they, elective surgeries are out. Yeah, but there are many elective surgeries that aren't life or death now that will fuck someone up down the road. I have family members who are in really bad shape because they didn't have surgeries they should have had because the hospitals were closed down because of COVID. And by the way, the hospitals furloughed everyone who worked there because there was nothing fucking to do at the hospitals. And I just agree with everything that guy said. That was smart.
Well,
it was a good call.
I got one slight difference, man. So the heart disease thing, that's the price of having freedom, man. A lot of people are going to make a lot of irresponsible choices, and that's on them. And really, I'm all right with that,
I agree.
You're going to be some fat asses if you're in the land of the free. That's just what it is.
I agree. My point is not that we should regulate McDonald's. My point is that we stopped our health industry from helping people who have heart issues because we were so fucking concerned about one goddamn issue. We ignored everything else. Suicides are up. ODs are up. Heart disease.
Do you really have compassion for the fat people, Carl? Come on, man. Don't me some bullshit
not
here.
The chicks. I mean, I have friends like Vinny, but not the chicks. Get on a treadmill.
All right, hold on. Let's get into our next voicemail of the week here.
CJ, you fucking idiot. There are so many vaccines that require multiple doses. MMR, Tdap, and the DTaP. Most of the childhood vaccinations that you receive as a child, you then receive a booster dose a couple months later. That's how most vaccines work. They changed the definition of vaccine because these mRNA vaccines don't use a viral vector. So while they accomplish the same thing, they don't have all the drawbacks that using an actual virus does, such as needing to find a different vector every time you want to make a new vaccine.
Accomplish the same thing. What they're saying is you can still get the disease, you can still spread the disease. It's accomplishing nothing. This is not like a typical vaccine. This is, again, marketing.
Well, it'll stop you from just dropping dead, and that's good enough.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true. Do you know that that's true?
That's what,
no one's dropping dead from this shit.
Well, how can you really know anything if we're going to get in the epistemology of the whole situation here? Can you even trust what is outside those four walls that you can see right now? What if the whole world's an illusion?
No, but Adam, I know what you're saying, but think about this, though. When this thing first happened, we were looking at China. We're like, oh my God, people are dying in the streets. We're like, this thing kills 5%. You know, it was crazy. It was so lethal. And then it comes to the U.S., and we find out that if you're under 65 and you're not a fat ass, you're fine. You just recover from it. And then we had a bunch of old people die because of Gretchen Whitmer and Governor Cuomo and terrible fucking policies.
Well, so it would have got around eventually anyway.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, it would found its foothold. It went all over Europe. It went all over the world. It would have found a foothold in here regardless of who the hell was in charge. Like, it doesn't it doesn't matter. Like, and now there are people that exacerbated the problem, but it would have still hit regardless.
So now we're saying that, oh, well, these vaccines work fucking amazing. Even though you can still get it, you can still be hospitalized with it, you can still die with it, you can still spread it. They're like, yeah, but not at a very high rate. Nobody dies at a very high rate. Nobody is hospitalized at a very high rate. That's the thing that they're leaving out. Like, all this shit that we were told at the beginning is not true.
Well, but it's got people spooked. It's like when the Joker is making his little speech in The Dark Knight where he's like, you shoot one cop, but he's not supposed to die. So everyone freaks out. It's the same thing. People are freaking out because people are dying that aren't supposed to, and diseases are scary. And it's kind of I don't know. It's built in everyone to panic about disease. That's why you see these fucking things in the news every couple of years where they want you to freak out about like swine flu or avian bird flu or Zika or Ebola or whatever the fuck. They're always trying to throw that out there because that hook is in us to freak out about this shit.
Could you imagine if on CNN for a year straight, every single time a third of the panel just showed deaths from car accidents? And it just had a running tally, and it just kept adding up, and they kept talking about it, and they kept showing footage from it, and they showed school buses flying off fucking cliffs and shit. Like, people would be freaked out about like, I'm not driving in a car. That's the scariest thing in the world. It's so crazy. It's the same shit. We've just got people hyped up about it.
There was a really
Blitzer, look at all these car crashes that Donald Trump is causing. It's insane.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, let's finish out what the hell.
You can go back to the voicemail. Sorry.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Because your body already has immunity to the vector of the first vaccine. Go fuck yourself, you crippled retard.
Well, in my defense, that sounds like a globalist marketing scheme that you fell for, and I get all my science from Infowars.com. So if you have a problem, you can take it up with Dr. Alex Jones.
Sucked any ding-dongs.
Oh, Jones drops. Whoops. My bad.
Oh, man. Yeah, we're all fans of Alex Jones around here. All right, so we got one last voicemail of the week. Here we go.
CJ, here's a list of all of the vaccines that require
this dude's
3
back.
doses. Hepatitis C, rotavirus 1, DTaP,
You are getting so scienced right now, CJ.
PCV13, IPV, influenza.
How are these letters making you feel, CJ?
Let's see. Hepatitis A. If you're immune compromised, you can look forward to multiple vaccines. Oh, MMR. Hepatitis A also. Meningococcal.
All right. We got the point there, Poindexter. Jesus Christ. CJ.
Boy, am I sure glad I fell asleep in science class. Oh, man.
Yeah, well, you should get some extra college credit because you just got schooled. I hope you know that, CJ.
I don't know why I'm sticking up for CJ so much, but I got to stick up for him again. All right, so yes, there's a lot of vaccines you get 2 doses for. 2. Wait until you see how many doses we're going to have to be required to get for COVID. It's already up to 3. We're already at 3. The boosters are the 3rd. So what's it going to be after that? It's going to be every 8 months, every 6 months, every 12 months. There's no other vaccine that you have to go get you get vaccinated every year.
Every time they slap on another Greek letter, there's another booster for you.
Yep. And they don't change the formula. That's the crazy part about it. And listen, I'm not a scientist, so Dr. Steve would be chewing me out right now. But that's the thing that's so stupid about this is they're like, yeah, this doesn't protect against the Delta variant, and this one doesn't protect against the Lambda variant, but if you get more of it, then it does. What? Why? What do you mean?
Man, it doesn't even matter if it doesn't. God, dude. So
very good.
But
sorry,
anyways.
I'm sorry. I turned this into a whole fucking coronavirus and vaccine podcast. I apologize.
We're known
That's
to have
annoying.
guests come on and start venting about COVID. It happens all the time.
I apologize. I should not have been that guy. I apologize. This is the first
Oh
story I saw
no,
when I
that's
got this
exactly
morning.
what this place is for.
Pissed me
Who
off.
gives a fuck, right?
All right.
But really, that's all we got for our show this week. So, see ya.
Stay horny, everybody.